Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. The theme today is From Japan with Love. I've got 4 guitars here, and they all came from Japan, but they've kind of been stuck in Japan because, well, you know, all the things that happened in the year 2020. I used to love buying stuff from Japan because it wouldn't take more than like a week or 2 to get here. Now, yes, fiddling with customs and paperwork and all that other stuff, it can be a bit cumbersome, but when you know what you're doing and know which guitars typically get taxed and which ones don't, I mean, it's always kind of a risk. It really just depends if they feel like charging you or not. But thankfully, through the help of a friendly viewer of the show that I sold that guitar to, I've talked about him before in these things, he was able to help me secure these things from Japan instead of waiting until EMS finally opens up shipments back to the US. Because Japan's like scared of the United States right now. And you know, from the outside looking in, I can see why. But anyways, what is our very first guitar that's coming direct to us from Japan? Well, if I can find the zipper, we can find out. 1, 2. There it is. So I've actually already reviewed this model, but I loved it so much I wanted another one. And I had many people requesting that I import one of them for them too. The Silent Siren Telecaster. This video did surprisingly well, like crazily well. And I'm still upset that Sue has never made an appearance with this guitar. It's so cool, but she doesn't actually use her signature guitar, unlike the bassist. So still mad respect for the bassist, despite, you know, the review of the bass only getting like 30,000 views, and this one got like, what, 140,000? Funny story, my first one, I had sold it to someone, and then they turned around and then they sold it for even more. So yeah, there's definitely a market for these things within the United States. But what's interesting about these, you get the humbucker in the bridge, the telly neck pickup, it's got that thin line design, and the whole light pale pin striping with the F-hole, despite not actually being a chambered guitar. It's just a lot of fun. I see these becoming highly collectible in the future. Made in Japan exclusive. Because at first, I could not actually get any of these. All the dealers were telling me, sorry, it's been sold out, they're not doing another run. But then, thankfully, one of them got back to me and said, okay, they are going to do a second run, but you gotta pre-order it. Next up here, a Lucas Nelson? Nah, just kidding. Those were just my notes for that particular episode, so I wanted to cover over the shipping label so you guys don't steal my address. But this one's actually a different one that we've been waiting for. So I've already unboxed one of these before, but I told you we would have to wait for the full review and demo until I got my customer's one in, because it has a specially low serial number. They definitely pack this thing well. But inside here we have another very special kind of a maroon case. And the big thing with this guitar is you could not find them. But this, ooh, wow, is the 125th anniversary Les Paul Supreme. So now that we got both of these, we can finally do the review and demo. I've been waiting. So we won't talk too much about this because we'll likely see this within the next week or 2. This is a beautiful example. My other one has more of a wider quilty top to it, but this one, I wasn't as huge of a fan of it in the photos, but now in person, I definitely prefer this one. It's like, it's got a lot of movement to it. Wow. I guess I definitely am glad I waited to review. It has our back. Nice. It's got like super tight on the front, so that's kind of cool. But on the back, super wide. And it actually has chevron quilt going on here on the back for a carved back Les Paul. And this one is number 9 of 125. That's a low serial number. I believe my other one's in the 20s, so that one will be coming up for sale soon, but this one has already been spoken for, number 9. Man, that is stunning in this camera. Wow, this will be a real treat to document. For a Gibson USA guitar, they sure did know how to make those. And moving on here, 2 boxes, but let's go ahead and open up another one. Is it actually a Fender? I guess we'll have to find out. It appears we got something else in the gig bag. Hopefully it made it okay. It's always my worry about these things is you never know if they're gonna make it all right. They've got to travel a long ways by airplane. I guess that's the other thing that they give you the option for these is they would ship them by sea mail, but they said it could take up to 2 to 3 months. And I don't know about you guys, but a guitar on a boat just doesn't sound very safe to me because you got the salt water in the air. You might corrode all of your stuff if it doesn't have a very good seal on the box. For some reason, when I think sea mail, I think this rinky-dinky-dinky boat just going, woo, in the ocean, and it could just topple over and lose everything. But I mean, in reality, it's probably like giant cruise ship type things. But let's go ahead and see what is inside here. Try to be as dramatic as possible. Another Silent Siren Telecaster. Let's check our neck pocket. Everything looks good here. Awesome. I told you guys I could hook you up if you wanted one. Nobody's actually pre-ordered these things, so watch my reverb shop. They might already be sold, but if they are sold and you want to get on the pre-order list, I do have 2 more coming, but they're likely not going to make it until like January or February. And outside of that, I really do not see myself being able to get any more of these. It was hard enough just to get the ones that I did get. But that's kind of cool. This one's actually a 2019, whereas that other one was the 2020. So that'll help make some variations on my listings. That way people don't think I'm just listing 2 of the exact same guitar. And all right, what's in here? It's another Fender box. What'd you do, Trogly? Did you buy 3 of them? No, I did not. This one, we are not actually going to unbox in this episode because it's a very special limited edition made in Japan Telecaster that we might have to get a little bit of country twang on for. So we'll see this one on the next upcoming Fender Friday. So we'll put this one over here until then, and let's go pack some stuff up. We gotta say goodbye to this curse now, the Voodoo Juju Les Paul. Such a sweet case. I'm so happy they reissued these for this second take on the Voodoo series. So if you missed this review and demo, it's just kind of a quirky Les Paul studio that has, you know, less than traditional specs. Like flame maple neck, swamp ash body and top. It was a lot of fun. I did not realize how different this new series was compared to that first one until, you know, I really started to dig in and compare them side by side. It's like, oh, okay, these are completely different, but, you know, a nice tribute to that original run back in the early 2000s. So this was kind of a new Guitar Day purchase that turned into a used one, which I don't normally hunt down used guitars for people, but it just happened to work out better because this was a fantastic example. Our next one to pack up here was kind of a controversial review. I mean, some people got it and some people didn't. Shiji, something like that. Apparently, one of my commenters is fluent in Chinese. Besides the way I explained it, it can also mean the world, so maybe that's what they're going for. But a lot of people were dogging this guitar. Made in China, oh, that crappy finish, $8.99, it's so expensive. But most of the people that have an issue with this are usually thinking, okay, it's like a made in Mexico Fender. This is more so rivaling Custom Shop. Without going back into full review and demo mode here, I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't tried one of these things either. So if you happen to find one in the USA, go ahead, give it a try, because I was really impressed with this Stratocaster copy. Looks like we're just cleaning up all the sponsored guitars today. I don't normally like selling sponsored instruments. You'll notice that I don't list them on Reverb. It's just kind of a, if somebody messages me and wants to buy it, I'll sell it. But otherwise, I usually just keep them and throw them in my sponsored items pile. Because I'm sure eventually one day I'll start like a new Trade Tuesday series where I just take all my sponsored products and trade them up into something. But somebody wanted this one, so I went ahead and sold it with that ABR1 bridge. All in all, I think 10S guitars, they're very good value for the money. They definitely have some work to do on their finishes though. Like this is legitimate orange peel. That is not intentional like on the other guitar we were just talking about. But, you know, value for the money, you do get a very interesting looking guitar, but the pickups in these are not quite as impressive as I was hoping for, so you might need to swap out your electronics. So let's go ahead and send this one off to its new home. Wrapping up a consignment is our next topic here. I believe I'm done with all current consignments, if I'm remembering correctly. This is that Studio Faded. We didn't have to do a separate review and demo on this one, but it was just such a fantastic example. Check out that flame top one last time. Converted by Larry Corsa. It was definitely fun to get to check one of these things out to see what all the hype is about, but I mean, flamed figured back, maybe not the neck, but all the body of this one is just awesome. So I have no doubt that the new owner will fall in love with this thing. And the very last guitar for us to say goodbye to is the Epiphone Les Paul Jr., a fun little thing for a little bit under $400. Ultimately, I think I preferred the special for just a little bit more, but this thing did look pretty nice for the price point. So thank you Troglodytes for tuning in today to this unboxing and boxing episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.